The elevator opened on the 11th floor, and there were 7 people sitting at a table waiting for me. They knew my name. They knew my coffee order. They knew about a decision I made alone at 2 a.m. 3 years ago that I have never told a single living person. I still don't know how. I'm not sure I want to. Let me back up. The envelope shows up on a Tuesday, between a Geico bill and a bed bath, and beyond coupon you've been meaning to use since 2021 heavy cream paper. The kind that costs more per sheet than your hourly wage. Your name on the front, not printed, not typed. Written, in handwriting so precise it looks like someone practiced it specifically for you. You stand at the mailbox. You look down the street the way people do when something feels wrong but they can't name it yet. Nobody. Just a neighbor's dog staring at you with a specific blank judgment that only dogs and IRS agents can pull off. You go inside. You open it. 3 paragraphs. No logo, no letterhead, no organization name. The first paragraph says they've been observing you for 3 years. The second paragraph lists, and this is the part where your stomach drops clean through the floor, 6 decisions you made in those 3 years that they found notable, not your job history. Not your LinkedIn, not anything on any resume you've ever written, the other decisions, the ones you made alone, at odd hours, in situations nobody else was supposed to know about. Decisions that lived in the part of your life that has never had an audience. You read that paragraph 4 times. Each time it says the same thing, each time it knows more than it should. The third paragraph gives you an address, a date, a time next Thursday, 10 p.m. a building downtown you've walked past 100 times without a single thought. The last line reads, come alone. Tell no one. This invitation expires once. You put the letter down, you pick it up again. Your dinner burns on the stove. You don't notice for 7 minutes. You tell yourself you're not going. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, each time with slightly less conviction than the last. By Thursday at noon you've already Googled the address, mapped the walking route, checked the weather for 10 p.m., and spent 45 minutes deep in a Reddit thread about secret societies that you close in embarrassment and reopen twice. You tell your roommate you're going for a walk. He doesn't look up from his PlayStation. You leave at 9:38. The building is on Whitmore Street, 12 stories, glass and concrete. The kind of building that exists in every major American city, anonymous enough that you'd never photograph it, permanent enough that you'd never question it. A small brass plaque next to the entrance reads Meridian Group, Private Consulting. You've never heard of the Meridian Group. You Google it standing on the sidewalk. A website. Clean. Minimal. 3 lines about strategic advisory services. No client list. No employee names. No address listed despite the fact that you are physically touching the building right now. The website has been active since 1987. The door opens before you knock. The man inside is in his late 50s, gray suit. No tie. The kind of calm that isn't relaxed, it's controlled. The difference between a still lake and a held breath. He says your name, not as a question. He leads you to an elevator, presses 11, says nothing during the ride. You say nothing during the ride. The elevator music is Chet Baker, which feels like an extraordinarily specific choice for whatever this is. The doors open, and there they are, 7 people at a long table, 8 chairs, 1 empty. 7 people who look like they belong in completely different rooms. They knew you were coming. They knew your name before you said it. They knew your coffee order, oat milk, 1 sugar, the way you've taken it every morning for 2 years at a shop you've never mentioned to anyone. And they knew about a decision you made alone at 2 a.m. 3 years ago. A decision you have never told a single living person. You sit down in the empty chair, not because someone tells you to, because your legs have already made the decision your brain is still debating. The woman at the head of the table speaks first. No introductions. Not from her, not from anyone. She says the organization has existed in various forms for 230 years. She says they don't use a name internally. She says they operate across 19 governments, 412 corporations, and every major financial institution in the Western Hemisphere. She says they don't control the world. She pauses the way people pause when precision matters. They edit it. Small corrections, invisible redirects, adjustments that look like coincidence from the outside, but are architecture from the inside. She says they've been watching you for 3 years. You ask what quality. She says the ability to choose correctly when no one is watching, and there are no consequences either way. The 2 a.m. decision lands in your chest like a stone dropping into still water. You don't ask how they know. You already understand that asking how is the wrong question. They give you 1 hour not to decide. To ask questions, you ask 11. How do you fund without a trail? We are the trail. Who knows you exist? The people who need to. None of the people who want to. What happens if I say no? You go home, you forget this address, your life continues exactly as planned. How many people have said no? She smiles for the first time, more than you'd think. Fewer than we'd like. What happened to them? They lived their lives. Happily, mostly, unaware of what they walked away from. Last one. You ask what they actually want from you. Specifically, not the pitch, you. Why you? The woman looks at the gray suit man who brought you up. Something passes between them that you cannot read. She says they don't want your skills. They don't want your network. They don't want your money. We want your judgment. It's the only thing we've never been able to manufacture, and it's the only thing that actually matters at the level we operate. She slides a folder across the table, open it at home. One decision inside, real scenario, real consequences, real people on both sides of it. However you decide, they'll know within the hour if it was right. And that answer determines everything. You take the folder. You ride the elevator down alone. Chet Baker again. You walk out onto Whitmore Street at 11:52 p.m. The city is exactly as you left it. 14 million people living 14 million small lives. Not one of them aware that 11 floors above them 7 people just offered you a chair at the table that edits the world. You don't open the folder until you're home. Same spot at the kitchen counter where you read the letter 7 days ago, you open it. One page, single-spaced. A scenario, names redacted, locations redacted, enough detail to feel the full weight of it pressing down on your chest, like something that costs lives either way. 2 options at the bottom. Option A, option B, you read it 3 times. First read, you lean toward A. Second read, you're not sure. Third read, you know, not because it's obvious, because it's the same shape as every one of those 6 decisions, the same specific silence, the same 2 a.m. quality, the moment where no one is watching and there are no consequences either way, and you still have to choose the right thing because you're the kind of person who does. You circle option B, you close the folder, you go to sleep. Thursday morning, the folder is gone. You didn't hear anyone come in, roommate asleep. Front door locked, windows locked, nothing else touched, just the folder gone like it was never there, like it made its point and left. You make coffee, you go to work, you sit in your 9 a.m. about Q3 deliverables and nod at the right moments and say the right things, and nobody in that conference room has any idea where you were last night or what you held in your hands at midnight. At 11:22 a.m. your phone buzzes, unknown number. No area code you recognize, one word, correct. Number disconnects immediately. Search returns nothing. You put your phone face down on the desk. You look at the Q3 spreadsheet on your screen. You think about the word edit, not control, not own, not rule, edit. In an office in a city that has no idea. They didn't find you because of what you've built. They didn't find you because of what you know. They found you because of who you are in the moments you thought were invisible. And here is the thing that no one tells you about invisible moments. They never actually are. Your phone buzzes again. Same unknown number, an address, a date, a time, next Thursday, 10 p.m. A different building, 1 floor higher. You don't tell yourself you're not going. You already know you are. You've known since Tuesday, since the mailbox, since the dog across the street stared at you and you felt for just a second like something had already been decided. It had. It just took you 7 days to catch up to it.